Hi everyone, this is Sai of Tbsp. Welcome to another episode of Sai's Kitchen. For today, we're going to cook gazpacho. Let's get started.
Good food that uplifts your mood never tastes so good. Cook with us at Sai's Kitchen.
Gazpacho is a cool, refreshing, flavorful soup that's a great starter to any meal on a hot summer day. And it also makes a perfectly refreshing, healthy snack. For our ingredients, we will be needing ripened tomatoes, cucumber, sourdough, which is optional, olive oil, garlic, onion, sherry vinegar or red wine vinegar, and salt and pepper to taste. And later on, I'm gonna show you our options on how to serve this soup. We can garnish it with Parmesan cheese or any cheese of your liking, red bell pepper, spring onions, and even croutons. For this recipe, we need to peel our ripe tomatoes. So the easy way to do that is we need to boil them first. So to do that, we just need to cut our tomato a bit at the bottom part. We're just gonna make a cross. You can use your chopping board if you find this dangerous. We're just going to boil our ripe tomatoes for 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to remove the tomato and we are gonna dip it in cold water. You may add ice if you want, and then we're gonna peel it. As you can see, especially with the very ripe ones, the skin just peel off very easily. So now we are going to peel the skin off the tomatoes. It should be very easy. They should come off very easily because we just dipped it in cold water. So this recipe is very easy to prepare, and you can store this for 4 to 5 days. So this recipe is still part of our summer series. A lot of people may not be familiar with gazpacho, especially here in the Philippines, because if it's soup, our impression is that it has to be hot. So gazpacho is cold soup. And you can serve this as, again, as I have said, as a starter to any meal or as a light, refreshing, healthy snacks. So after we peel the tomato, we are just going to slice it into 4, and we're gonna scoop out the seeds. So we need to remove the seeds before we blend it together with the other ingredients. I intentionally overcooked a little bit the tomatoes because some of them are not as ripe as I wanted them to be. Ideally, you need to have very ripe tomatoes, and you just need to boil them for 2 to 3 minutes. But I added an extra 2 minutes for this because some of the tomatoes are not as ripe. Next, we are going to add to the blender the tomatoes, the cucumber, the shallots or the onions, the garlic, and the vinegar. We're just going to pulse it until the consistency becomes smooth. Then we are going to add the bread or the sourdough, which we prepared. You may soak it in water and just squeeze it, or just add the bread directly to the mixture. Then we're gonna add the olive oil and salt and pepper. And once again, we're gonna pulse it until all the mixtures are well blended. And that's it, our gazpacho is done. Now we just need to put this in the fridge or dip this in ice or cold water because gazpacho is cold soup. And by the way, you have the option to strain the mixture if you want really clean, smooth gazpacho. For me, my preference is I want it with some texture, so I am keeping this as it is. And I'm back, And our gazpacho is cold enough. Now we are just going to garnish them with some croutons, red bell pepper, and spring onions. And finally, our gazpacho is ready.